Did you know that the average age of a company in the UK is 8.5 years? And that's a proxy for the life expectancy of a company as well. So if you look at the government statistics, as I record this today, there's around 5.5 million registered companies in the UK. 60% of them won't get beyond 3 years of age. Nearly 3/4 won't get to 10 years of age. And across all businesses, not just startups and new companies, but across all business types, 8.5 years is the average age. So that, to me, tells me that the vast majority of companies don't get to realize their full potential. They don't get to create the value that society wants for them to create for everybody to prosper. And that's a real issue. That is a problem, and I can't reconcile that statistic in terms of the way that companies should be run. So I think we have an endemic problem. And what that means as you look around you is that 50% of all the companies that you're dealing with today won't be here in 10 years' time. That churn rate means that more than 50% will have disappeared over a 10-year period. What that also then means is that if you're taking your lead on how to run your business from how others are running theirs around you, then your long-term prospects for intergenerational wealth or long-term prosperity in a company is sort of 10% or less. It's vanishingly low. And that's not a good statistic on which to build a business plan and a strategy. The good news is that there's something that can be done about that. The majority of the challenges that businesses encounter are not of their own making necessarily, but are things that are within their control. So profit and growth and cost control and risk management, these are all things that we do all the time. But the big challenge that companies have is agility over time. They niche down onto something, get very good at something, but they might burn bright, but then they fade away because they're not able to adapt and move as the market moves and as buying patterns move and behaviors move and society moves and everything else changes. You have to move with the times if you want to be prosperous and successful long term. And so there is a way to build that into the operating structure of your company. Now, I have a problem with these statistics. In fact, I want to do something about it. And I've committed professionally to making a real positive impact on this. And I do that by working with SMEs and with businesses that have an enterprising mindset and want to build agility into their operating environments. Now, if you want to make a strong statement of intent about having a long-term strategy for being successful, then one of the things you can do is work with a business advisor or indeed work with a fractional executive where you can actually tap into senior experience, executive level experience and skill sets without welding the full cost of those executive skill sets into your business. So you have the flexibility and the cost effectiveness of tapping into those sorts of skills. Now, I've worked in FTSE companies, I've worked in SMEs in the UK and overseas, I've worked in startups, I've worked in companies of all different structures and levels of profitability and operating platforms and systems. And so I've got a very good broad understanding of where to build agility into companies. And that's what I'm looking to help specifically SMEs with. But anybody who would like to buck that trend on the long term and be able to create prosperity for themselves and their shareholders and investors in the long term. So if that's you and you have an appetite for that and you're enterprising and open-minded and looking to expand and looking for success, then I would love to hear from you.